Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to acknowledge you for taking this time to really spend professionally developing yourself. I know how busy you are, and you can feel a little bit guilty by setting aside time to learn and grow and work on something that you are interested in. So, congratulations for doing that. I want to make this session as impactful as possible. So let's start off by um, making sure that we're fully present in the room. Close all of your other windows on the computer and mute your phone so that you can be fully present for the short time that we actually have together. Next, I want to make sure that you are fully engaged. I'm going to ask lots of questions during the session, so be prepared to type your answers in the chat box. There will be time for Q&A, so you don't have to worry about that. And I have prepared a handout for you, which you can use to follow along. You can grab that handout at ideasactiondesign.com/7 reasons. Now, in addition to the handout, I have a really cool bonus that's attached to the handout, which is a document that we call the Productivity Planner. Productivity Planner will really help you with strategizing your big goals and dreams. It's a super succinct one-page document that you can use to refer back to on a daily or weekly basis, and trust me, you're going to love it. So don't delay any longer. Go to ideasactiondesign.com/7 and then reasons. 7 reasons to grab those documents right now. So I want to go ahead and begin, but before I do, just a super quick bit about me. My name is Jamila Payne, and I'm an award-winning entrepreneur. I've authored 3 books, and I'm a radio personality at WKDU 91.7. My show called Heart and Hustle is where I play soul music and talk about small business. Over the last several years, I had the distinct pleasure of counseling and training over 10,000 entrepreneurs across the U.S. and Africa. And it's the insights from that experience of working with entrepreneurs and other career high achievers that I'm going to share with you today. Currently, I run a business called Ideas Action Design, where I work with people that want to be more productive in their business and life. And that's what I hope to help you to do today. So with that being said, I'd like to go ahead and jump into the topic for today, 7 reasons why you aren't achieving your goals and dreams. It's almost the end of the year, and you might be looking back and thinking at your list of goals, and you realize that you did not get as much done as you would have liked to. You might feel disappointed and then downplay what you have actually accomplished by feeling like setting goals for the new year or setting New Year's resolutions is ridiculous, that you're not going to do it next year. It's a common story. A lot of people often feel this way, but you will be able to get more for yourself next year if you apply these simple strategies that we're going to talk about today. So what we're going to do first is to identify some of the common challenges that people are facing in achieving their goals and dreams. And then next, I'm going to give you some solutions and strategies. I like to call these habits or rituals that you can apply on a daily basis, like a daily success routine that will help you to have a better outcome for the things that you want to achieve. So the first thing that often shows up for people is that their destination is undetermined. Here's what I mean by that. Most people want to achieve success in business and life, but they've never actually defined what success looks like. I want you to ask yourself, when I achieve success, how will I know that I've gotten there? This is a really important thing. And so I want to help you to be able to do that today. What is your definition of success? I want you to type in the chat box right now. What is your definition of success? How will you know when you've gotten there? The solution for being able to really define what success looks like is creating a vision for story for yourself. This story would essentially describe what your desired future is. What is it exactly that you're aiming for? The story should begin with a statement that says, in the year, whatever the year is, let's say it's 2020, in the year 2020, I will have achieved the following. You should write your vision story as if the future that you want has already happened. This process of creating a visual story will actually develop a mental picture in your mind. And trust me, when the vision is clear in your mind, it's a lot easier to actually achieve that vision in real life. So let's move on to the second reason, which is fear. Too often, people are paralyzed by taking action. They're concerned about this idea, what if I fail? I want to hear from you. What is your biggest fear about failing? Because to really achieve success, the success that we deserve and desire in life, in our career, we have to be willing to fail. So I want to know from you, what is it that you're afraid of failing at? Go ahead right now and type that in the chat box. What are you afraid of failing at? What would you actually go for in life if failure was not an issue? Oh, excuse me. So many people are paralyzed by taking action over this idea of fear of failure, when the failure is often imagined and not actually real. People wonder, if my ideas fail, will people laugh at me? Do they think I'm too young or too old? Or what if I want to do a big event or a program or a dinner party and nobody shows up? Will I look silly? These are some common fears that people are faced with on a day-to-day basis. But I can tell you, after working with thousands of business owners and other high achievers, I've come to realize that most people that are highly accomplished individuals are afraid. The difference is that they face the fear and they move forward in spite of it. So what fear do you need to overcome today? I love this quote by Mark Twain. I've had a lot of worry in my life, most of which never happened. So here's what you can do about it. Make a list of your biggest concerns. Put a plan in place that will help you to overcome them. You can actually, in advance, decide how you would prevent a failure or something that you think might go wrong. Take, for example, if you are afraid of people not showing up to an event that you're doing, give them a call in advance and get some commitments of people that are willing to attend your special program or event. By securing those invitations in advance, you can be certain that you won't have a room that nobody's standing in. I love this story. This is a blogger, and her name is Simply Sin. She posted in a recent blog post where she shared information about the travel that she does. You can see all of these beautiful, amazing places that she goes to. She put up a post where she described her fear of flying. Nobody would actually believe this. This is a woman who's on a plane almost on a weekly basis. She's a full-time lawyer, but has this travel blog as a personal passion. She said that she's actually terrified every single time that she gets on a plane. She's come to the point in some occasions where she's actually felt like she was going to have an anxiety attack. In one case, she actually got off the plane and decided to take a bus, train, and a bike ride to get to her total destination. But she does it anyway. She's reached all of these amazing places. She's traveled all over the world, but she has a really acute fear of flying. So, what is it that you're afraid of that's holding you back that you need to start overcoming right now? So let's talk about the next common reason that people aren't achieving their goals and dreams, and that's having a weak world view. A weak worldview is when you have limiting thoughts and beliefs that are shaping your outcomes. Sometimes these things come from childhood. It might be that your parents said that you were a jack of all trades or that you weren't good at something. You'll never be good at that. Might be looming in the back of your mind. That worldview could be shaping the things that you are doing and or not doing today. I think I actually pressed the back button. So I love the author Byron Katie, and her book, Loving What Is, she discusses this process that she calls the work. And I've even included a link there for you where Byron Katie shares a 4-question process that can actually help you to reverse limiting beliefs and overcome a weak worldview. She goes about this by challenging people to ask themselves, is it true? These beliefs that you think are true for your life may not actually be. So ask yourself, is it true? And know that it's possible to make your future better than your past. Write a new story. Those childhood limiting beliefs, fears, and self-doubts do not have to be a part of your future. Certainly, they may have played a role in your life up until today, but if you believe that you aren't good at something, aren't worthy of financial success, that you'll never have the career growth or accomplishment or get into that C-suite like you really want to, I want to invite you to write a new story. The reality is, when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. I love that quote by Wayne Dyer. So next is false focus. Number 4. This is common. People put efforts towards the wrong activities in their life and business, which means that they're not going to get the results that they actually want because they're spending all of their time working on the wrong things. And I don't want you to be doing that. So sometimes it's possible to feel really busy, but never actually be getting things done. The solution here is to work on areas of responsibility where you are naturally gifted. Too often, people are spending time strengthening their weaknesses instead of leveraging their strengths. So I invite you to figure out what is your area of genius and really begin to focus on those things. I want to share with you a few resources to be able to do that. I love 2 books. One is Strengths Finder, and the second is Unique Ability. Strengths Finder, I believe, is by Marcus Buckingham. I can actually see it over there on my bookshelf. It's actually by Tom Rath, is who Strengths Finder is. And then there's a book called Unique Ability, which is by Dan Sullivan. And those are excellent books that will really help you to be able to tap into what your strengths are and become better at them. All right, let's move on to number 5, which is a failure to follow through. I'm curious, are you leaving opportunities on the table? Are there things that you should be doing that you have neglected to make happen? So it's important that you set about intention for yourself. There might be something like a stack of business cards. This is so common for people. You go to a conference or event, you meet 30, 40, 50 people. Sometimes you only meet 10. You get back to your office, you put those business cards in what I like to call the business card graveyard. They stay there forever, and you never reach out to people and make those connections. That's a common example of failure to follow through. It doesn't matter whether it's fear that's holding you back or it's a slip of the memory, but it's preventing you from taking action. And I want to say to you, don't leave projects to chance. I use the process of creating automatic habits. Automatic habits are when I do things, and this is a process that we use at Ideas Action Design, where we develop these automatic habits. Now, an automatic habit, for example, would be something like when I come in the house, I automatically place my keys on the table by the door. I've had the experience too often of misplacing my keys, so I have an automatic habit of putting the keys by the door. It might be that you develop an automatic habit of when you attend conferences and events, that you go back to your room at the end of the evening and you draft all of the emails to the amazing people that you met and you queue them up in your inbox so that when you get back to the office, all you have to do is press send. If you develop rituals that you put in place that will help you to make sure that you are actually being consistent on an ongoing basis with the things that are important for you to achieve your big goals and dreams. Moving along to number 6, lack of practice and preparation. So many people are lacking daily habits and rituals for success that will help them to achieve their goals and dreams. It's important that you create dedicated time to make sure that you can do the things that are important for you. Take a second and think about one of your favorite athletes or notable business professionals. You might agree that one thing that they have in common is the mastery of their craft. So I want to invite you to develop a regular practice and preparation for how you master your craft. In the daily success routine planning process, we work with people to do this. It starts by writing up a schedule that you can follow to get results that you're looking for. For example, you might prep your day the night before. This will help you to ensure that you already have a list of the most important things that you're going to focus on when you start your workday. I also like using Sundays for me as a day of personal prep and personal development, where I can spend a good time reading books, taking time to practice activities that will help to develop my skills and abilities, and you can do exactly the same thing. You must develop a mastery of your craft in order to achieve your big goals and dreams. Finally, another strategy that I love using is time blocking. And time blocking is where you actually set aside time in your day or week to make sure that you are focused on the activities that matter most. I start by blocking out days of the week so for example, I might have Monday be Make Money Mondays. And so maybe I'm going to focus on sales activities in my business. You might theme Wednesdays as Wealthy Wednesdays. Maybe it's a day that you actually focus on investments and things that you want to do to grow your savings or income. So these are ways to think about important times in your life to focus on activities that will help you achieve your goals and dreams. I go even a step further in my daily rituals and routines, and I actually block out time in my day. So instead of just putting together a to-do list, I actually put together a block of time when I'm going to execute a specific task on my to-do list. And I'm realizing that I've mentioned this daily success routine a couple of times. And what I'm talking about is a planning system. So it's important that you be able to prepare. And this is a daily success routine. So if you're curious about a tool that you can use to actually put together this plan for yourself, then I invite you to visit ideasactiondesign.com and learn more about the daily success routine planning process. So luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. I love that quote by Seneca, and it's so true that there is no just pure luck. It's really about being prepared for the opportunities that show up in your life, and that's when true luck is actually created. Okay, so the next area, and definitely one of the most important, is personal growth plateau. It happens too often that people get to a point where they really just stop investing in themselves and their own personal growth and development. And this is critical for you to be able to achieve your goals and dreams. So I want to just talk a little bit about what it means to invest in yourself. One of my favorite sayings is that your business can only grow as much as you do. And in order to achieve higher levels of success, you must have higher levels of thought. So a solution is really adopting a philosophy of lifelong learning, which I imagine that you definitely have if you are here today for this a day of global networking. I want to let you know that having this kind of mindset of lifelong learning will ensure that you increase your skills and the knowledge that you need that will advance you to the next level. You can do simple things like taking a class. This could be improv. I recently did an improv comedy class, and boy, it was a lot of fun. You could do dance, painting, music lessons, marketing classes, at least once a quarter to encourage new ways of thinking and growing. And as you can hear in the examples that I gave, these lessons, this personal growth and development, doesn't always have to be the serious stuff, because creative opportunities can also help you to really evolve and have different ways of looking at your life and or your business if you are pursuing entrepreneurship. Remember that in life, we don't get second chances. So it's important that we overcome our fears and really live boldly. So I just want to do a quick recap for you on the things that we discussed today as far as the 7 reasons why people aren't achieving their goals and dreams. So first, we talked about having a destination undetermined, no clear vision for where you're going. Next is fear, analysis paralysis, or fear of what possibly could happen that often doesn't happen, holds people back from achieving results. Having a weak worldview and always looking at the glass half empty instead of half full. We talked about a false sense of focus, spending your time and attention on the wrong activities that aren't going to get you to meet your objectives. We talked about failure to follow through and that opportunities are really all in the follow-up. So if you met that contact that could really help you to get to the next level, then make sure that you reach out to them. In fact, I invite you to take action right now and making sure that you connect with me on Facebook or Instagram so that I can continue to help and support you in your journey. And I'll share those handles in just a second. We also spoke about lack of practice and preparation. Successful people, and I gave the examples of talking about athletes and other professionals, they have taken the time to master their craft, and so should you. And then finally, we talked about personal growth plateau. Never let it be that you have stopped investing in yourself and learning what you need to know in order to get to the next level in your business. So I want to invite you to take action right now. I want you to type in the chat box, what's one thing that you're going to implement to improve your possibilities of achieving success? Which one of those 7 things, 7 reasons why people aren't achieving their goals and dreams do you need to work on? So go ahead and type that in the chat box right now. I wanted to share a quote from Albert Einstein, who said that insanity is doing the same things and expecting a different result. When you look back on your goals next year, I want you to think about what experience do you intend to have? When you scan the page, will there be several check marks next to the things that you intended to accomplish? Start on the right track today by developing your daily success routine and creating practical habits that will ensure that your goals become a reality. So I just want to continue to answer any questions that you have right now in the chat box. Also, I want to invite you again to connect with me. My email address is jamila@ideasactiondesign.com. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Jamila Payne, or you can reach me on Facebook at Jamila H. Payne and look for my fan page. That's where all my Facebook party is happening, and you don't have to wait to request my friendship. So I hope you have enjoyed this session today, and I look forward into helping you to achieve your big goals and dreams.